We'll go for a cheat meal and you can eat the burgers and I'll eat all the fried. We've never been for a cheat meal before.
We should probably do that.
We should have, because we both like just had one. We could have saved it.
And like vlogged it.
Yeah.
Maybe next time.
10,000 calorie challenge.
That's not a challenge.
Comment below if I'll do 10,000 calories, he'll do 20,000 calorie challenge. What? 30?
30, I could do 30.
Holy shit, okay.
Well, is it like a meal or is it like
a day?
We're gonna get off topic here, but like after my show, I had like the night of is when I did that. I got off stage at 9 o'clock. Between 9 and 11, I had eaten 8,900, and that was like easy, like
Holy
easy.
shit. Okay, so comment below if you think I should do the 10,000K challenge and he'll do
I'll shoot 30 in a day. It has to be a day.
24-hour period.
Yeah, okay.
Nothing can be drank through liquid.
No way.
Yeah. Okay. And if you guys, if we get enough interest below, we'll have a.
And like you guys have to be
day.
interested and like really get dialed into interacting because literally that's like probably 15 pounds off.
Yeah, and we don't do cheat meals really ever. Like it's been 4 and 5 weeks since our comps, and we just finally had like a cheat
meal pretty much.
Yeah, so like it's got to be a pretty big deal where like we'll probably I'll probably like diet into it so that well, it sounds so bad.
Dieting.
Anyways, dieting for refeed. Okay, so had another issue with my camera. It keeps overheating. This video is getting too long, I guess. But we are going to go on to the next question.
Biggest struggle when first reverse dieting. Well, for me it wasn't really a struggle because there was no reverse diet.
Yeah.
And I think that's what, like, I just ate everything in sight and got fat.
Yeah. So that was your first time reverse dieting? So my first time reverse dieting, I was so terrified to put on weight that I actually stayed in a
the total
deficit.
opposite.
And, you know, I stayed in a deficit for so long, and I was like that. I was terrified to have a cheat kind of thing and like incorporate things back into my diet. And like I stayed fairly lean for like a few months actually after my comp, and then all of a sudden I went on a trip to Vegas, and you know, I actually didn't put on a lot of weight there. It was not too bad. I could put on like 5 pounds maybe, and that was probably mostly from the alcohol water weight. But when I came back, I had a hard time getting back into a routine and knowing like where I should put my calories at and whatnot. And that's when I didn't really do any sort of reverse. I just started eating whatever.
Yeah.
I gained maybe 25 pounds-ish that time, and then went into my next competition season, and then that's when I didn't reverse diet after that time last year when I went through, gained a ton of weight, and that's where it put me in a position this time for my prep a year ago, starting at 160 pounds, dropping down to 118 pounds. So, but anyways, a struggle though for reverse dieting in general. People always talk about like the reverse diet, whether you're coming out of a comp or just a cut or whatever, that the struggle afterwards is not eating everything in sight or like trying to resist things. But we were kind of talking about this earlier. It's, you know, a lot of people don't talk about the actual physiology that your body's going through when you're reverse dieting.
Everybody seems to understand okay, I restricted, whether like Megan says it was a diet, a program, whatever, I restricted, I didn't have this sugary food or whatever it is that's like your trigger food.
Yeah.
I didn't have this for 12 weeks, so now I'm just craving it, I want it mentally.
Yeah.
But what they don't tell you, like Megan has alluded to, the physical, when you reverse diet and you speed your metabolism back up.
Fuck, are you hungry?
It's just I remember the first, and I didn't reverse diet slow because I don't think my opinion is not a real big need for it, plus it's way harder to adhere to, so I'm all about what you'll actually do. You
went through a 12-week diet, you don't need to go through 12 weeks of reverse dieting.
No. So I'm already fully, well, I'm going to continue to push them as high, but I'm around maintenance right now,
same.
and I've been pushing up calories every week.
Yeah.
But for me, I know that the next, especially after I had I call it a cheat couple hours. And then after my show, I did travel to Montreal, so I didn't track, but I didn't binge either.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't like I was way over probably like what I was eating the week before going into the contest, but I was probably eating like 3,000 calories, which it's hard to stay under when you're eating like a catered lunch. Like I was at like an event center where like I'm just guessing it would be like chicken and healthy foods, but like the way they cooked them in oil and shit, I knew for a fact it was like triple what I thought it was, right? So anyway, I would go to bed at night and literally all of a sudden my eyes would just open. Why? I'm hungry, starving, because your body is craving those nutrients. It's just like trying to quit smoking. It's a physical need. It's different than mental.
Yeah, I actually like.
To be quiet.
Yeah, the first couple of weeks after comp, I like can't sleep because I'm awake, starving. But I had just eaten 1,800 calories that day. Like I'm like, why am I so hungry?
And then you get mad, right? Because you're like, literally, I was like, for me, you know, I was eating like 2,000, and it's like, bitch, 2 weeks ago I was eating 1,500. Like, why are you starving?
Exactly. But it's a good thing your body is starting to adapt, right? It's a good sign you're bringing your metabolism back to its baseline. You're getting your body back to where it needs to be. Your hormones are starting to come back together.
If we both could agree on a tip, it would be that a help for that is, I mean, you're gonna have to just fight through it and bounce off the walls, but like, just remember that that's a good thing. That means your metabolism is speeding back up. Your hormones are getting optimally. You're going to be getting stronger. You're going to be able to be in a place where you can make some gains in the gym again. So.
And this is where it's just important to not give in to all of those cravings all the time.
Not all the time, right?
You know, but it's okay to be like, you still need to be okay with incorporating some treats here and there or whatever. But you just need to know that you're not going to overdo it and binge on it continuously. Because this is where I feel like when I'm in a harsh deficit, and I have that goal, I'm not going to binge. I don't have any cravings, nothing. But when you're reversing and you're so hungry all the time.
I was like, I felt kind of crappy going into the show because my energy was real low. But like, as far as cravings go, I was, I mean, and that's common. Most people say that.
Even still, like, I don't really crave bad food ever. Like, I'm not like, oh, I want to just go out and crush like this shitty meal. But I'll crave more oats, or I'll crave fruit, or I'll crave like more of what I'm already eating.
More nutrition, basically, more numbers.
Yeah, but you also have to just differentiate between like hunger and boredom too. And that kind of goes back to when we were touching base on the binging. Like,
on the binging,
like find something to replace that hunger or keep your mind busy.
Yeah.
And I find like, for me, and everyone's different, right after my show, I still have a small appetite until about like a week later when I've consistently eaten around my maintenance, and then my metabolism is kind of back to normal. I find that week after, second and third week after is the hardest for me because my metabolism's going, and then by my 4th, 5th week, then I feel like I've kind of overcome that hunger feeling.
That's where we differ, I guess, a little bit, is that like, people always ask me like, basically, I'll put it to you this way. I'm hungry all the time, 24 hours a day. So like, there's a reason I was as big as I was, because I can eat. I've never met anyone that can eat as much as me. Like, the biggest people, it's to this day, I still can't. So I just have to, I've learned that like, that's the card I was dealt. So like, am I saying I'm sitting there starving all the time? No, but like, I'm one of those people, like, I could eat supper and then an hour. It's just like, I could eat, you know, like we were, you know, I could literally eat a big supper, and some people, and then it's like, we should go for ice cream. Like, no, I just ate. Oh yeah, we could. Like, I'll just squash.
Dessert is a whole different
I'll just squash it down, and then we're good.
All right, so I guess
that's I'm good with that.
Yeah. All right. What's your favorite body part to train?
It's tough for me, honestly. Which is going to be really weird for a guy to answer it like this. Probably legs and then back, but they'll take turns depending. Like, I was having some hamstring issues the last month, and today was the first day that I really like. If I would have answered this yesterday, I would have said back. Yeah. Because it was just like, I was training legs, but more of like rehab training, I guess. Like, not the way I wanted to go. It would look similar to the outside eye, but to me it didn't feel, it's not the same mental stimulation that I crave. So today that I left and I'm like, ooh, I like training legs, you know, so I like it more because it's a challenge, and back is hard too, but legs is a real challenge if you train legs like I do anyway. It tests like your willpower, your ability to quit and everything. And
oh yeah.
For me, training is always more of a mental therapy than just for our vanity
Exactly.
So.
Mine's shoulders, I think, is my favorite day to train.
You weren't gonna say that. I was gonna call you a liar.
Shoulders, and you know what?
Another bigger delts than I do.
you know, my upper body was always my weakest from playing soccer my whole life. My legs have always been super strong. They're just there.
Everyone would assume that that's your favorite, but
I don't. I hate training legs, but I love training upper body now. And I never used to, but I think because I'm so proud of like from 4 years ago when I first started like really getting into bodybuilding to now, and like key point here is 4 years it has taken me to get to where I am now. It didn't happen overnight. It didn't just happen in this past year. Like I've been working at it, and I do shoulders at least 3 times a week to get them to where they are.
She wakes up in the night and does lateral.
I'm laying in bed doing lateral. I have my resistance band attached to the wall.
And it usually shows because shoulders are my least favorite part to train. I injured it like halfway through, and it took a year and a bit for me to get back to feeling, and then not only get back, but like I had to relearn proper movement patterns and get into a place that I was
boring.
Mobility, so it just sucked all the time. But now I'm actually enjoying training shoulders too. So there's nothing I really don't like training. Like that's a
like
big dread for me, you know. Like
I always love going to the gym anyways. It's kind of hard to answer though, but like how do you balance meal prepping your food, school, work, social life, coaching, like everything. So basically in general, how do you balance everything?
For me, balance is and I've said this before if you follow any of my socials or anything, but balance is a misunderstood topic, I think. And from the way I look at it, I'm not saying you have to agree with me, but maybe I'll give you a new perspective to look at balance. For me, so the first 19 years of my life, I was very inactive, sedentary, lazy, I had a bad attitude, and I ate like shit and I was fat. Yeah, bluntly put. Okay? So the last 5 years, if you were to take a snapshot, people would look at that and go like, oh, he has no balance, like he doesn't go out as much, or he just cares about fitness or business or these things I have that I aspire to do. Okay, but like I was way over here for all these years, and maybe I am a little bit this way now. But if you bring that somewhere in the average, it gives me a total. I'm always looking for total life balance. Because is it the way I live my life right now? Is it going to be like that forever? No, I already know that. But while I am in the ability to chase these dreams that I have and make these things happen, I'm going to do it. So, you know, there have been times, and I have learned. I was really hardcore, like I wouldn't go for supper, I wouldn't do this for a long time, and I don't believe that's super healthy. But it's just about what your goal is. And if your goal is important to you, then that's all that matters. Don't worry about, like for me, I don't go drinking a bunch, I don't even really like drinking. But I will tell you that from 13 to 19, I was hell on wheels. Like drinking every weekend, and drugs, drinking, women, stealing cars, whatever I could get into, right? So like that, it was not good. So now, my life is hopefully over the time, the whole span of my life, all of it changed to total life balance.
Yeah, you know, I agree a lot with that. Like I always say like, whatever, you know, your life changes so much. Your life can change so much within a year. You're always at different stages in your life. And if you have goals and dreams and things that you're aspiring to achieve, you're not necessarily going to have balance. You're not going to have balance in your life in every area, but that's okay because for now, exactly. For example, as you're like trying to create your own business at the same time as trying to become an IFBB pro at the same time.
Social life's gonna have to take a back seat a little bit.
Exactly. So it's
something has to take a back seat.
Something has to take a back seat. And you know, like it doesn't mean I don't talk to my friends or that I don't see them, but you know, it's definitely a lot less than like 5 years ago.
That's right.
But at the same time, it's like 5 years ago, my friends and I, same thing. Parties, drugs, like whatever. Didn't give a shit about like really your long-term goals. Like
that's right.
I've always been driven and had goals, but not to the extent where like I cared to actually like push things aside in order to reach those goals, like seriously. And like I can say like, yes, sometimes I might feel a little down because I'm like, man, like I've been putting so much effort into this that this is kind of taking like a hit or whatever. Like I'm not seeing my friends or family as much, but you know what? It balances itself out even within the year. Like I was in a year of prep, so yes, my life wasn't as balanced in some other aspects, but now I'm going into like 6 months of improvement season where I'm not going to be in the gym 4 hours a day. I still have those same goals that I'm working towards.
Still the same total goal,
same
but the path
total goal,
has changed
but the path is a little bit different. I have a lot more time to put into my business. I have a lot more time to put into family and friends and enjoy things, but I'm not losing sight of those specific main goals that I have. I'm still training my ass off. I'm still following my nutrition, like that kind of thing. So I think there's going to be different points in your life where you don't have a balance with everything, and that's okay.
And I will say this, if it super bothers you, I don't want this to come off the wrong way, but like me and my family are not super close. So like for me to go a long time without talking to them was quite normal. So if it's like a little bit extended, it's not that I don't care, it's just that it's not out of the norm that much. So like I don't mind putting them in the back burner, but yet for some people, you know, it would really bother them that like they're not talking to their certain their mom, dad, brother, whatever it is. If it really bothers you, then adjust something else.
Yeah,
don't,
exactly.
Because that will impede your overall progress to
and
whatever
you'll start neglecting that specific goal. You'll start
it'll
really feeling down on
negativity.
yourself. Exactly. So like, yes, I totally agree with that. Like if you have certain things that, like if say you have family, friends, school, work, your main goal, whatever it is that you're putting all your time towards, and all of these things are equally important to you, I think like sometimes maybe you need to just reevaluate like how you're spending your time.
Take you on too much too fast, right? Sometimes you can't have 3 big goals.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes
that's the thing too. Like
it's got to be one.
You want to take the whole world on.
And I get that. I'm bad for that. Where I decide I'm just kicking ass. Yeah. Part of the problem reason that is because I was always a quitter. And I never followed through on anything. Once I learned how to keep a promise to myself, it's super cliche, but like I truly believe whatever I set my mind to, I can do.
Yeah.
Because I've kept proving it to myself over and over that like there was a lot of things that I always say like I was never supposed to have any of this. What I mean by that is like if someone was looking at me from the outside perspective, they would never have pegged me to do all these things I've done, right? Yeah. Like school dropout, you know, fat guy, like.
But you know what? That really shows his character, and I'm so big on talking about like building these good habits and of not quitting, of pushing through the shitty feelings. Like you're creating these good habits and you're building your character, and it's showing a lot about who you are and your character. Whereas if you continue to quit, if you continue to let your shitty feelings take over, if you continue to not do things like take action. You're creating those bad habits and you're burning your character, and like you can take it into those different perspectives.
You know, I've spoken about it a lot in posts, like in words, but never too much on video. So I want to put this in perspective because a lot of people like it when they listen to something. So my whole life, I had never really done anything for myself. What does that mean? I never kept a promise to myself. I never, you know. I didn't love myself, and now I'm at this point where I know it's cliche, but I always tell people like it's not too late and you can change it. And this is not fitness related. This is anything that you want for yourself, and you have to put yourself first sometimes, and that's okay. Like literally, guys, 5 years ago, I was in a hospital bed with 9 broken bones, 5 of them being spinal vertebrae, and they were telling me like you're not gonna walk very good, and you'll have a limp on your right side, and if you lift over 50 pounds, you're going to be in pain. Yada, yada, yada. I was almost 300 pounds. I had high cholesterol, high blood pressure, pre-diabetic, and I am nothing special. I'm a high school dropout. Like, I guess I over-embellished that. I was a high school dropout. I'm not now. But, like, I left home. I moved out at 15. I was probably voted the least last guy to Six Systems at my graduation, which I was not there, so I wouldn't know. But like, if I'm not special. It's hard work. It's some mindset switches and just believing, working towards it one step at a time, right?
Yeah, and seeing setbacks or failures
learning to live with
and it's not seeing it as the end. Or
I've switched and learned that failure for me is more, I embrace failure because it's an opportunity to learn.
Exactly, you learn from it, and I believe everything happens for a reason, and I believe like if it doesn't work out this time, it just wasn't your time. And if you keep working towards that goal, or sometimes a new goal comes up out of it, or a new opportunity, or whatever. And it's sometimes hard to see the positive when you're in that specific situation. But I guarantee you, if you can overlook that, it's okay to be upset or angry or have your feelings at that time, but to be able to, the quicker you can get over that and move on to the next thing and work harder, you'll see down the road, once you achieve your next goal or this other door opens or whatever, you'll look back and be very thankful for that time. And like, I don't regret anything that's ever happened in my life, any bad decisions I've made, anything
all the worst stuff is like, that's the stuff I'm most blessed for now.
That's made us who we are. It's made us mentally and physically, emotionally tough. And no, we're not perfect. Yes, we break sometimes. Yes, we fail. But like, what makes us successful, or going to be as successful, and we both believe we're going to be as successful as we want to be, because we're never going to give up. So I don't know exactly how this turned into this little speech, but
I was going to say this ended up being a long one, but I will say this, balance for me, I've never been this happy as a whole, and I was talking to her about this the other day, and I was talking to a few other friends about this. I've had always snapshots of my life that I was real happy with, like I was happy with fitness, but maybe not my personal life. And right now, I'm very dialed in, and I attribute a lot of that to, right now I'm being as genuine with my following, with myself. I have a goofy sense of humor, I'm weird, I'm opinionated, but that's okay, that's me. And if someone doesn't like that, I fully admire them, and they don't have to like it, but like for me right now, I'm vibing on a higher frequency.
Exactly.
And what I mean by that is, when you see people that are, and I relate this back to my partying days, when you're like drinking, or when I was doing drugs and stuff, you want other people to be, it's like, here, have this, like drink this, because you want them to be on the same frequency as you. And right now where I'm at with the people that are in my circle, it's hard to get in there, but once you're in, and I hope Megan would agree with this, I have everyone's back that's in my circle to the highest level. So I'm vibing with all those people right now. So it's really nice, because like, I'm just, it's like almost being on a high all the time. And I know that sounds really cliche and strange, but it's the truth.
Yeah, and to add on that is like, it's so easy in the world we live in today, especially with social media, to be something that you're not. And
for the longest time, I was probably guilty of that myself, like thinking I had to be this person so people would follow me.
So that they would like you, or like whatever, and like caring what other people think. And I've been there too, when I first really got into posting on social media, I'd like sit there for an hour looking at my phone like, should I post this? Should I not post this? Should I post
make someone mad?
You know what? I don't even think twice anymore. I'm like, fuck it. If someone doesn't like it, you can unfollow me. I really don't care. Honestly, to be truly happy with who you are, you need to be who you are, and you need to embrace everything about yourself. Embrace the good, the bad, the ugly, like the quirkiness, like whatever, right?
For a long time I played like the very serious card, and I'm already opinionated, so that would come off almost basically like me looking like an asshole. And I didn't think I was, but it's funny because then someone would meet me and they'd be like, "You're actually pretty easygoing." Why did you not think that? Well, I don't know, so it's because I had this shield up. And once I just started to care, put me first, I train for me. I eat the way I do for me. I have the aspirations I do for me. And if I'm vibrating on the right frequencies, that means whatever I put out to everyone else is going to be that much better.
Exactly. And to add on to that, this is making a really long question or answer, but I think it's important that you guys find and connect with other people, other like-minded people,
Yeah.
and other passionate people, other positive people.
If people are
and I have no time for people. Like, I am not even kidding you. I will not give someone the time or day if they have like any negativity.
No, I agree.
They talk bad about people. They do, like, you know, try to tear other people down. Like, if I'm sitting beside someone who I thought was my friend and all they're doing is talking negative about, it might not be about me but about other people.
Like, sure shit, you know,
like, you know what, they're
too.
gonna bring my mood down, and I'm just like, I just don't have any time for that in my life or want for that. So it's very, very, very important to choose who is in your life. And you know, sometimes it's hard. Like, I've had people who have been in my life for half my life that I have cut ties with, and no, it doesn't mean I hate that person.
No.
Doesn't mean I think they're a terrible person. We just have different vibes, and I don't want that vibe in my life. And you know, sometimes you can only help people so much, and I've had people where I keep them around because I think I can help change them. And you know what? Sometimes you just have to say some chicken calls. Sometimes you just have to accept that maybe they aren't right for you in your life. And you know, I think I've gotten to a point, and I'm sure Dylan has as well, gotten to a point in our life where the people who the people who matter the most, the people who support you, the people who understand your goals, the people who are positive, passionate, all of the above, those are the people that are in my life. And to be honest, like, I really don't have any negative people that I connect with in my life.
I don't either. I've cut them all out.
And I'm so truly happy with where my life is at, where it's heading, who I am as a person, who I have in my life. And it's taken time to get here, and it's taken a lot of learning experiences, but it's really important to have really positive people in your life.
So I guess,
yeah,
you know, to wrap this up, I guess, because this question seems like it could be a whole nother video, but
yeah,
basically, whether, you know, the question was, you know, how do you balance all your meal prep, work, social life? You have to prioritize those in your importance.
yes,
Is the takeaway, I guess, from all that
your
rambling.
importance. Figure out what is the most important, and I'm a huge goal setter and writing your tasks down and stuff, right? So if you have this really big goal, make sure you write out your small goals in order to get there, but also write down like plan out your week, for example. So say you have a super busy week ahead with school, work, prepping, boyfriends, girlfriends, family, like whatever. Look at your week ahead. Plan out what meals you're going to be cooking for that entire week. Cook those up, weigh them out, get it all prepared. Plan, like I will literally look at my month ahead and schedule my friends though. Like even with Dylan, like he's like, hey, I'm coming to Regina these days, like we should hook up and do, oh my god, that sounded so bad. This we also have to talk about.
We always do. You're
Fuck.
gonna make it worse.
Okay.
So when I come to Regina, we
get
hook up.
together and
She's
train.
lying. We hook up.
We do not. So this is strictly a friendship. We were talking about this earlier that we wanted to address with you guys. We have a lot of the same followers, and with the Q&A, and I wasn't surprised, but more so messaging him.
Well, I'm a guy, right? So people will be like, bro, what up? Like, you can tell us, you know, like.
So.
Yeah. Anyway,
So we've gotten a lot of questions, but no. Fuck!